What if the person secretly hoping you fail isn't your enemy? What if it's someone who smiles when you succeed, congratulates you, and says, "I'm happy for you," while quietly wishing you would fall? The scary part is, they usually don't look jealous. They look supportive. Maybe you tell a friend about a new goal. They say, "Be careful, that probably won't work." You get an opportunity, and suddenly they remind you of every reason you could fail. You start improving, and they joke about how different you've become. At first, you think they're just being realistic. But sometimes something deeper is happening. Your growth can make another person uncomfortable, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because your progress changes how they see themselves. Imagine two friends who start at the same place, same age, similar dreams, similar struggles. Then one starts moving forward. They become more confident, they learn new skills, they get an opportunity the other person wanted. Nothing about the friendship has to change, but psychologically, the comparison has changed. Your success can become a mirror. And sometimes people don't dislike what they see in you, they dislike what your progress makes them notice about themselves. That's where envy becomes dangerous. Not all envy looks like hatred. Sometimes it looks like a joke. "Wow, you really think you're gonna make it?" Sometimes it looks like doubt. "Are you sure this is a good idea?" And sometimes it looks like fake concern. "I'm only telling you this because I care about you." But here's the important part. Not everyone who questions your decisions wants you to fail. A genuine friend can warn you, disagree with you, or tell you something you don't want to hear. The difference is what happens afterward. A real friend wants you to make a better decision. A threatened person wants you to stop moving. And there's an even subtler sign. Watch what happens when you succeed. Someone who genuinely cares may become excited, curious, or proud. But someone who secretly feels threatened might minimize it. You got lucky. It's not that big of a deal. I could have done that too. Notice the pattern? They don't always attack your success, they shrink it. Because if your achievement becomes nothing special, they don't have to confront the uncomfortable feeling it creates inside them. And this is why you should be careful about one mistake. Assuming everyone around you deserves access to your future plans. You don't need to announce every goal. You don't need everyone's approval before you begin. Sometimes the best way to protect something you're building is to let it grow quietly. Because people can't discourage a plan they don't know about. And eventually, your results will speak louder than your explanations ever could. So pay attention to the people around you. Not just when you fail. Watch them when you win. Watch who celebrates without comparing. Watch who encourages without competing. And watch who suddenly becomes uncomfortable whenever you start becoming a better version of yourself. Because sometimes the person standing closest to you isn't afraid of your failure. They're afraid of who you might become if you succeed. And maybe that's the hardest truth of all. You don't always discover who believes in you when you fall. Sometimes you discover it when you finally start to rise.